You're listening to The Tales We Tell, a podcast about spooky stories, unsolved mysteries, and local lore. I'm your host.
No, you're not. Not tonight. I'm your host, Katy.
And I'm Hannah. Yay! Oh, I love that we still stumble our way through this.
Well, it's been a really long time since we've done a Tell We Tale. That's because for the last couple of months of my pregnancy, I was barely functioning mentally. And now, as a working mom of a almost 5-month-old, my brain is barely functioning. So, not much has changed. I definitely started this. I might have been on maternity leave when I started this, but I have a feeling I started this before Critter was born.
Wow. So, it's a long time in the making, so it's going to be really, really good.
So, this is a Katie's Creature feature.
Yay!
And remember, there's a little Easter egg thing. So, our first one was the Calicanceros.
Right.
Then we had the Alplicara, and some others. And then we had the Totzelworm. And a few others. And today we're talking about the Yeth Hound.
Ooh, the Yeth.
Yeth, we are.
Yes.
So,
hurry.
Got a little photo and a quick question for you.
Okay, great.
What would you do if you saw this sweet face when you were walking down the road at night? Would you think a sweet new best friend who needed all the love and snuggles in the world?
Yeah.
Or omen of death?
No, the first one.
Definitely.
Sweet little snow face.
This is Sugar. This is when she was about 15.
Sweet baby.
This was my first baby. My black lab Sugar, who in that photo she looks kind of like got a ghost mask on because she just grayed so much. Her mom was the Samoyed, so the white fluffy thing, and her dad was the sleek black lab that would go run the roads, and Mom snuck out of her little suburban home and ran with the
little lady in the tramp moment.
Exactly. And she took after her daddy in her looks, but black lab terrified of the water.
Oh.
Hated the water.
Huh. Weird.
So, yeah, she kind of failed on the lab thing there. But
that's okay. We recently found out that Kelly also hates water. And we found out on a very hot day, filling up a kiddie pool, and Jarek physically placed her in it, thinking, like, what a nice, cool relief. No, she jumped right out. Wanted nothing to do with it. So that's $5 down the drain.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Olive won't like it. Jory will. All right.
Okay.
So back to the story of the Yeth Hound.
Yeth Hound.
Throughout history, and probably to some dog lovers' chagrin, like ours, large black dogs have been regarded as an omen of death. Okay. So the Yeth Hound, or black dog, is the long-standing idea of a spectral or demonic entity that takes the form of a large black dog and is associated with the devil.
Okay. We already established early on that cats are poltergeists.
Yeah.
So
black dogs are the devil.
Black dogs are the devil. Okay.
And if you ask my dad, he would probably actually agree with that a little bit when it comes to Sugar. Because even though she was as sweet as her name implies, she was 100% the devil when she was left alone. This is the dog that ate the door frame multiple times. Okay. Chewed through a table leg. Poor thing had really bad thunderstorm anxiety that then just morphed into separation anxiety.
Yeah. Poor girl.
Yeah. She was a sweet, sweet girl, but a little wackadoo in the head.
For the record, every black dog that I have known has been a sweet angel baby, including all the ones I know now, which I was having to think very hard about. I think it's just Leo. I might be wrong. Because I don't...
That you know now?
Yeah. I'm trying to... Well, I'm mentally trying to go through all of Jenna's dogs in my head, and it takes a second. So...
Well, you've also got to think of, like, past and present and foster.
This is true. This is true.
Wasn't Arthur one of them, too?
Yes, sweet
He
Arthur.
was an old man, right?
He was an old man.
Yeah, a little hospice pup.
A old, horny little man. He was big boy, but... Oh, God bless. Okay, sorry. Dogs.
So, black dogs, like the archetype, whatever, have been around for a really long time. From ancient myths, think like Cerberus guarding the underworld, and Fenrir, who will bring about Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
To varied folklore throughout the world, to pop culture and literature. Think the Hound of Baskervilles and Harry Potter.
I was gonna say Harry Potter.
So, the majority of folklore surrounding black dogs is actually founded in England and the British Isles, though there are still plenty of stories from around the Americas and Asia, and I'm kind of going to go... It was really hard trying to think of the best way to, like, organize and present this info, and like I said, I started it several months ago, and I finished it today. So, let's see. It's going to be fun and not super disjointed. So, these stories aren't just, oh, I saw a black dog in the street. It's more like, Harry Jack was spotted prowling around Dorchester Street. Or, Maudie Dew has been stalking the Barrows.
Are those names of dogs?
The neighbors saw Shug Monkey last week, and now their uncle's dead.
Okay. Are those names of dogs? Because those are all awful.
Black dogs have actual names depending on geographic locations of their sightings.
Ooh, okay. Didn't know that.
So we're going to start in England because that's probably where they're most prevalent and like the most sightings and most widespread.
That's what I think of, but probably because of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, and like the Hound of Baskerville is British.
Yep.
British.
So in southern Devon, there was a huntsman named Richard Cabell who was said to have sold his soul to the devil. It is also said that upon his death in 1677, black hounds surrounded his burial chamber and that his ghostly form rides with black dogs. This is the part of the inspiration for Hound of Baskervilles.
Oh, okay.
Also, probably a little bit of inspiration for hellhounds in Supernatural.
That's what I was thinking of, too. Dragging you down.
Yep.
Gotcha.
In a village near Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire, also, fair warning, especially if I get to some of the ones that are more like Wales and Scotland, I am really winging it on the pronunciations. There's actually several little stories that I skipped from Wales, specifically because of the pronunciation. I was like, I'm sorry, I just don't have time to go and...
You don't speak Welsh?
I don't. But Shelton has family members who are from Wales.
Oh, wow, I didn't know
that. And it would be fun, too. I mean... The Twelfth Teg, remember from the other creature feature, those are the Welsh fairies.
Oh.
Tilwyth Teg. That's
Tilwyth Teg.
It's been a long time since I've done that. I still remember. So
that's good on you because
brain noodles, they still work a little.
I still can't pronounce it, and you said it a second ago. So.
And what's the thing that they use to harvest grain with?
A scythe.
There we go. Now we'll have to find a new word for you to not pronounce the right.
Listen, just wait a week or go back and listen to any episode where I can't pronounce things. Although I did recently learn about towns. I don't know.
The word is town.
Okay.
Correct. Well done.
Okay. In the UK, if it ends in shire, if that's the end of the word, it's pronounced sure or sheer.
Yep.
And then alone, standing on its own, it's shire.
And that's why immediately after I said Buckinghamshire, or I said technically Buckinghamshire, and I realized I was like, that's not how you say that. It's Buckinghamshire.
Ooh, I also learned, allegedly, the correct way to pronounce that province in Canada that starts with a Q.
Quebec. Yeah.
Or Quebec.
A lot of people say Quebec.
Yeah, that's how it's spelled.
It's Quebec.
Quebec. Quebecois.
Quebecois.
I don't know.
That means, are you from, or I think a Quebecois is someone who is from Quebec.
Ah.
Like a Quebecian.
Yeah. Let's call them what they are. Quebecians.
But en français.
Quebecians. Okay, sorry.
All right. So, a village near Aylesbury is what I'm guessing on this one. There was a man who went out every morning and night to milk his cows. This was a normal thing until one night he saw a sinister black dog. He saw the dog every night until one evening the man brought a friend with him, because, back up.
Yeah.
And then he attacked the dog, who simply vanished.
Okay, all right.
It's a common theme.
Okay.
We'll address it.
All right.
After he attacked, the man fell to the ground and was carried home to remain speechless and paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Oh.
And that's why you're not a dick to animals, because you'll have a stroke.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a great lesson. Don't be a dick to animals, especially dogs. That dog was probably looking for a home or some love.
Just living his life.
Just chilling out. Maybe
he had cow friends.
Yeah, maybe his nightly and morning routine was to go watch the man milk the cows, and he enjoyed that.
Maybe he was the cow's comfort dog. Oh. They're like, ugh, we've just been brutalized again by the farmer.
Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, having to pump at work, I feel like a glorified dairy cow. It sucks.
Doesn't sound fun. Okay, well, I'm glad the dog got away.
Yes.
And the man learned a lesson about messing with dogs.
Pretty tough lesson to learn.
I mean, listen, someone's going to learn a lesson if they try to mess with my dog. I mean, off the record, everyone, but someone comes after Kelly and...
I mean, there's lots of different kinds of lessons. You're implying a very specific kind, but, open to interpretation.
Yeah.
In Newgate Prison, it's said to have a black dog haunting the premises for over 400 years.
Oh, like a little guard dog. Mm-hmm. Love that.
You'll love him even more in a minute.
Oh, good.
In 1596, a scholar was sent to prison for witchcraft.
A scholar was... Okay.
Because, heaven forbid, someone uses their brain.
Yeah, okay. Did he say some math?
It gets better, though.
Okay. Was it a woman?
We're not ready to unpack this just yet.
Okay.
Or haven't dropped the bomb for you yet.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought the big thing was a scholar.
No. A scholar being sent to prison for witchcraft in the late 1500s should be whatever.
Probably a little, not hearsay. What's the...
Well, expected.
What's the church one? What's when you...
Heresy?
Heresy. Thank you. Probably some heresy in there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Prepare yourself for this one.
Okay.
So he was sent to prison, but was killed and eaten by starving prisoners before he even had his trial.
Oh.
So I'm going to pause and let that sink in for a minute.
Killed and eaten?
By other starving prisoners.
Okay.
And this is why prison reform is so important.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a lot of things wrong with that. The first one being, why are the prisoners starving? Literally, damn it. All of my idioms are, leaking out of my ears.
It's hard being in the reaction seat, isn't it?
Okay.
So you think your job is hard, doing the research and, telling the story. It's not.
What's the, it's 3 meals and I want to say 3 meals and a cot, but there's something else. 3 meals and a bed. Three cots and a meal.
3 square meals and a roof over your head.
I don't know, but
bed.
one of 2 things that you have to give prisoners is food. Mm-hmm. So, already fucked up there.
Yep.
Also, what...
So before he even got to go to trial, which, let's face it, he was gonna lose.
Why didn't he use some of his witchcraft to...
I know. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible also, witch.
Why are you...
Or warlock.
Why are you holding people... before trial in the same general population as the rest of the convicted prisoners?
Again, 1596, we've come a long way since then. We still have a long way to go.
Keep him in the county jail.
Come a long way.
Okay, all right.
So
he's killed and eaten.
So, yeah.
Golly.
Soon after that, the black dog, who mostly appeared before executions, so... again, been around for 400 years.
Right.
People would see them. It would often be before an execution.
Right.
So everyone kind of knew this.
Okay.
He appeared to the prisoners who had just killed and eaten their fellow inmate.
Right. Be cautious, black dog.
Yeah.
They might kill and eat you.
Yep. Except they became so terrified that they then killed their guards and escaped.
Oh,
so
okay.
What I want to know is if that was always an option, why did they have to kill the witch?
So you...
And eat him. Kill the guards and eat them. I mean, if once you kill the guards, you don't even need to eat them. You can go out and find food. At worst case scenario, you can hack off parts, bring it with you, and have a barbecue. The other thing that really bothers me about the whole killed and ate the fellow inmate.
How are they cooking?
They didn't have... They couldn't have cooked him, right?
Surely no access to fire.
It's also, like, really hard for my brain to, like, kind of formulate into words the thoughts about cooking another human being.
Yeah.
Because that's just not a thing.
And and again, 15 whatever.
96,
I was thinking, like, modern day. I'm like, well, I guess maybe if they had, like, a hot plate or something, but...
No, they would have to roast him over a fire.
Ugh.
But, so I went on a haunted history tour in Charleston a few years ago, and we actually got to see a prison area. Like, it's under the courthouse. And in a room that was probably, I don't know, 15 by 15 feet. Like, just a small room. They probably had like 50 people in there. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm imagining this is one of those obscenely crowded, barely a bucket for a bathroom situations. So, like, not only are they starving, they are in just the filthiest, like, the most horrid survival
at that
conditions.
Point, at that point, like, I will volunteer to be the one that you kill and eat because I don't want to live out my sentence
Again, like, he was gonna lose that trial, let's be real.
Yeah, unless
if he's being accused of witchcraft, he's done for.
Just saying, could have used the witchcraft to get out of the
And that's
trial.
why no actual witches were murdered during the Salem witch trials.
This is true.
They clicked their heels together
all
and
the
they
real
were
ones
gone.
got out. Okay, so the dog enabled the mistreated prisoners.
Basically, just they all saw the black dog, who is this omen of death.
Right.
And, like, some of these prisoners, they weren't going to automatically be executed. Like, they knew that they were eventually getting out, but they're like, oh, shit, we just saw the black dog.
Right.
We're gonna die. We've got to get out of here. So they killed their guard and escaped. However, it is said that the beast, the dog, then hunted down and killed all of those prisoners.
Oh, well, I was kind of on board with the prisoners because I was like, well, who knows what they're in there for? They could have stolen a loaf of bread or they could have murdered 27 women. It's kind of up in the air, but, like, for the ones who were just there for the regular stuff, like witchcraft and apple thievery.
So, just another important lesson learned. Don't eat your fellow inmates before they've had their trial.
That's actually a very good point. I feel like we should be writing these down.
I'll type them up.
Okay, thank you. So I can remember. Just words to live by.
All right. In Norfolk, Suffolk, Lincolnshire, and Northern Essex, we have stories of Old Shuck.
Old Shuck. Okay. Not Chuck.
Shuck.
Shuck.
Like shucking an oyster.
Okay. I'm just making sure it's not
corn.
Making sure it's not an actual name. Like Chuck. Shuck. Okay. Shuck. Shuck.
He is seen as a malevolent being or a harbinger of death.
Okay.
In 1577, Old Shuck attacked a church and killed 2 people. Honestly, just sounds kind of like a dog with rabies, but sure.
Yeah, okay. Did he appear during the day with a foaming mouth and walking kind of funny?
Not quite, but he either teleported.
Ooh, okay.
Or somehow existed in 2 places at once, because that same day, he attacked another church and killed another 3 people.
Could there just be 2 dogs?
Yes. Yes, there could.
Okay. All right. I mean, probably not. It was probably all the same dog, and he was probably a demon or whatever.
He's absolutely a malevolent spirit.
Okay. So he's just...
That can teleport. He also left claw marks at this church in Blytheburg that still remain today.
Ah, okay.
Old Shuck is so famous, there's even named a street named Shuck's Lane because he is frequently spotted there.
Ooh, so if you want to meet a dog, go to Shuck's Lane. Okay.
But this is not the dog you want to meet, remember?
Well...
Harbinger of death.
Okay. We have talked about how dogs can, like, sense the good and, you know, like, they're, like, good judges of character. So maybe these were... bad people. I know it's hard to believe that there are bad people in a church.
No, it's not.
But I'm just saying maybe Shuck knew he could smell the evil on these people and was like, I'm going to kill you and then I'm going to teleport over here and I'm going to kill this other person. And that was it. And then the church was secretly like, Jeff was such an asshole.
He was one of those priests taking advantage of the altar boys.
Mm-hmm. Or literally any other thing that a person in power in church has done to victimize people.
So many. So many. It's also said that if you inspect the area, or like later inspect the area where he was spotted, so like if you see him or somebody sees him, you go back later, you will find scorch marks and the smell of brimstone.
Ooh.
Okay, sulfur.
Spooky. I was going to ask if brimstone was different than sulfur. So he also could...
I think it's the same.
He could have also been a gassy boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Just saying, Kelly's farts are straight from the pits of hell.
Yeah.
Straight up. And she likes to lay with her butt facing me. In bed.
Jory and Olive, too. Well, I mean, with the farts, they... Yeah. Anywho.
Okay.
Some black dogs are neither omens of death nor the bringers of it. Some are seen as guardians who help lost travelers find their way while protecting them from danger.
Oh.
This type of black dog became more popular around the early 1900s. I guess people started liking black dogs as pets. Maybe and such.
I wonder when we domesticated dogs.
They domesticated themselves. Did you not know that?
I feel like I read that somewhere, but I didn't know it was true.
I've read it in multiple places and heard multiple things. Basically, yeah, dogs domesticated themselves because, like nomadic tribes would be, traveling around and packs of wolves would start following these, packs of humans because food. Yeah. And decided that they wanted to be in the company of humans because the humans were not a threat to these dogs, right? And would often provide food or at least leave leftovers and bones and stuff. Nice. And they realized that there could be a symbiotic relationship that
the wolves figured out that if you stare at the humans long enough and your face is cute enough,
give us the puppy eyes,
and do
we're
that.
Suckers.
Oh, good grief.
Yep.
I can't even ever complain that Kelly is spoiled because I will scold her. Like the other day, she threw up while we were at work and then on my rug, of course. And then,
that's the best place.
And then I came home and made myself a bowl of mac and cheese and was sitting, minding my own business, eating it. And Kelly is over there full. You know how like they beg, but then they beg or they act like that is my food and I'm not sure why you have it, but you need to put it on the ground. That was her the entire time I ate. She was just sitting there like, okay, when are you going to put it down? When are you going to put it down?
My dogs don't beg. That is unacceptable in my household. And that's why I was so mad. Sam, I hope you're listening to this episode. My coworkers were in the office the other day and both of them brought their dogs. And they were just getting too rowdy and riling each other up so that we just had to separate them. Like with kids. Yeah. You go into that corner and you go to that corner. And Sam put her dog Charlie in my office. And Charlie's a good girl.
Charlie, also known as Chuck?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Call her Charles Barkley. And sometimes Charlie's Bark On. instead of Charlize
Oh,
Theron.
okay. Sorry, it took me a second.
It's the less popular name, but yeah, Charlie. And she's a good girl. Like, she doesn't beg and, like, doesn't jump up on things or whatever. And I forgot that she was in my office and that my snack was on my desk. And I had to go to the other office, like, go across the hall to talk to my coworkers about something. And I came back and I looked down. I'm like, what's that weird paper thing on the ground? That wasn't there a little bit ago. And I go, and a few minutes later, I'm like, oh, that's right. I have prosciutto to eat because my afternoon into the day snack is some cucumbers and prosciutto.
You sure don't have that.
It was not on my desk anymore. And I just kind of sat up and I looked over my desk at Charlie laying on the floor like, you bitch. You ate my prosciutto. Not only did you get a snack, you got a good snack.
A good snack.
You got a bougie snack.
Dang. Yeah, that was one of Scooby's problems, is that he one time famously, while Jarek was opening up a package of sausage, Scooby just jumped up and took it from him. He dropped it. It fell on the floor, and we did rinse it off and still cook it. But Scooby was known for snatching stuff.
Jory did that to some stranger at the dog park. Well, he's never done anything like that at home. And Olive doesn't do it either. No, again, neither of them beg. Olive begs a little bit because Shelton doesn't discipline her well enough. I have to discipline her. But Jory was at the dog park, and some guy comes in, and he's got, like, an Egg McMuffin or something. Like, he's got... Everyone knows you don't go to a dog park. You don't bring food into a dog park.
Not food that you want to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so... he's just, like, walking around, like, talking and, you know, whatever. And Jory's like, oh, that smells good. I want that. And the guy, you know, reacted and was like, no way or whatever. I don't know. But then Jory came back and went, chomp. And the guy was gracious enough to, like, realize that, yes, this was his stupid mistake. Like,
yeah.
Who brings food into a dog park?
And who doesn't eat their Egg McMuffin right away?
He was too busy running his mouth.
That's what George probably was saying, was like, okay, well, if you're not going to eat it, these bitches don't feed me, so...
It was the epitome of you snooze, you lose.
Hey, it was... okay.
All right, so let's go back to the good boys. Okay, the goodest dogs.
The good ones. In my opinion, they're all good. Just saying.
So, the Guardian Black Dogs is what we're talking about, which became more popular around the early 1900s with tales such as the man walking down a forest lane at night alone, you know, as one does.
I mean, as one man does. Just saying.
Who saw a black dog suddenly appear at his side and stuck with him for the journey. Oh. The next night, the dog appeared again and walked with him till he disappeared. Years later, convicted felons confessed to a priest that they were going to rob and murder the man in the woods until they saw the black dog.
Ah, I like that. I also like that these stories literally could just be real dogs.
They just happen to know when you need something.
Yeah, exactly.
And they appear when you need them, and then they go back and do their thing. Like, maybe the dog himself was like, oh, there's some sketchy people in the woods. Maybe you'll protect me.
Yeah, he was like, buddy
Meanwhile,
system.
the man was like, the dog will protect me.
It's called the buddy system. That's just saying.
Then there is the Gert dog, or great dog.
Okay.
Which is another example of a good dog.
All of them are good.
This goodest pup would watch over the children as they played in the fields or guide travelers on their journeys.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. You want something that you're not going to love as much?
Is a dog going to die?
No.
Okay, good. I was about to say, you're uninvited to this house.
I don't tell those kind of stories.
Okay, you know what? Listen, I've had like maybe 3 really, really bad stories.
A woman murdered multiple animals to pretend be giving birth to them.
Okay, I forgot about that one.
How? How?
I'm
sure a lot of our listeners are also screaming about that as well.
I don't feel like that one was like the worst one. They were probably already dead bunnies, most of them.
Then there was the kid who would literally eat anything, including animals.
Okay.
Like live animals.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm just not gonna.
Yeah,
You know what?
You have no defense. I'm gonna talk
over here. Okay. Just pour me a little bit more wine there. There we go.
That's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay.
Shall we resume?
Yes. Tell me something I'm gonna hate.
Oh, you're not gonna hate.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna hold Bones, the eyeless dog here.
here we go. That's what you need, a comfort dog.
A comfort dog. For this pleasant story. I don't... Okay.
Our dearest Padfoot
Yay! I was hoping that we were gonna get to him.
is not entirely of JK's making.
Well, yeah, duh.
The inspiration behind one of the goodest boys in the Harry Potter universe likely came from the tales told throughout Wakefield, Leeds, and Bradford. Unfortunately, this version is seen as a bad omen.
Well, Harry also thought he was a bad omen.
It's not just bad, but death.
Hmm.
It will often appear behind a person,
Ugh.
then disappear, only to reappear in front of them or walking beside them.
So it's a dog that has the zoomies.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The appearance of the dog is also accompanied by the sound of its feet padding along,
Oh, okay.
or maybe even the sound of a chain rattling behind.
Ugh. Don't love that one.
While it should be obvious, one should not attack a black dog if they see one.
Yeah. Don't attack any dog if you see one.
Otherwise, it will have power over you.
Yeah. God will punish you with a stroke.
And, you shouldn't fucking hurt animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also-
Bad things should happen to you if you hurt animals.
I also have a typo in here that it doesn't say shouldn't or should not. It just says you should. I'm like, okay, that's not what I meant to type.
Not what you meant.
So, lastly, while we've been talking about black dogs specifically, there was an instance of a white Padfoot
Ooh.
in which some genius decided to try to hit it with his stick.
Okay, well, I hope that genius...
Eh,
Okay.
this isn't the whole Katy
Oh.
jumping ahead. You don't get to drink just because you jumped ahead.
Listen.
But the stick passed through the dog.
Good for it.
Ghost dog. And so the big man with the scary stick ran home with his tail between his legs like a little bitch. Lots of dog puns in there. And later fell sick and died.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking maybe he fell sick. I was actually kind of hoping that he was going to go to hit the dog and the dog would, move out of the way and then he would, accidentally hit himself. That's truly the best kind of karma is,
I think this is from a time where most people didn't keep dogs as pets.
Yeah.
The only people who had dogs as, quote, pets, they were hunting dogs.
Yeah.
And so they still weren't really pets. And it was much more common to see dogs in the street than, and, it was just from a time and culture and society. It was yeah, it's fine to just beat a dog that you see walking next to you begging for scraps.
Yeah, but also don't...
I don't agree with that time, but sure.
I'm not trying to, be out here hitting squirrels or pigeons or turkeys that I see just hanging out in the streets.
Then we've got the Yeth Hound of Devon lore, who is a headless black dog.
Ugh, no.
That is said to be the spirit of an unbaptized child.
Well, you gotta baptize your kids or they're gonna turn into headless dogs.
That's literally what I have here. So this is my advice. So baptize your kids, I guess. Or their spirits may end up as dogs who run amok through the woods at night and wailing. Let's be real, though, because baptized or not, Critter will absolutely be running wild through our woods at all hours of the day and making all manner of noises.
I mean, but, yeah, that's true. I just would prefer to see him with a head.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll still have a head.
Yeah.
It's just, can't you envision this cute little, super blonde, maybe even ginger boy running through the woods at our property?
Yep.
And,
sneaking up behind everyone, scaring the shit out of us.
Just being a creepy little ginger kid. Some days I swear I'm like, you're a redhead. Other days I'm like, oh, I'm a little toe-headed boy.
He'll be both.
Who knows? He'll be whatever he wants to be.
Yeah. Even if that's a headless dog because someone didn't baptize him. Katy.
He had a Virginia baptism.
What's that?
We dunked him in the creek.
Cool. That counts.
You've seen the photos.
Oh, yeah. Did you get his head wet? Gotta do that.
No, we'll do it when we go up this coming weekend.
Right. Just, like, hold
or,
him down
or next weekend.
You can do it.
Because we got his feet in there, but it was so cold. Remember there's the picture where his feet are in the water, and the very next picture, his feet are tucked up as close to him as he can get.
Yeah. I can tell you, if you want the Baptist way to do it, you're going to have to take a cloth, cover his mouth, then hold his nose.
We don't have any chloroform.
Well, you don't need it for this. And then just dunk fully submerged. If he's not submerged fully, it doesn't count.
I thought that was waterboarding.
It's also Baptists.
A Baptist baptism.
Thank you.
I struggled with that one too.
I couldn't think of the word. Once I said Baptist, I was like, what are we talking about? Baptist baptism.
All right. We ready to go to Scotland?
Ooh, yes.
In Scotland, we've got Muckle Black Tyke, who is a black dog who presides at the Witches' Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
And is said to be the devil himself.
Of course. I thought the devil was a goat.
No. Have you ever watched the TV show Lucifer?
No.
You should. I think you'll love it. I mean, Tom Ellis is, something to drool over, sure. But he is hilarious as Lucifer. And from my, all of the learning that I got in Catholic school and all the other learning, the real learning I got after school, they've done a great job of really keeping him true to Lucifer as a fallen angel, and a very fun, interesting. It's a kind of like a procedural because he solves crimes, so it's ridiculous.
Love that.
But the thing is, the running joke is that he hates goats. And the goat thing actually started as, a rumor or, a practical joke played by his brothers, the other archangels. And so whenever there's an episode that kind of, relates back to Lucifer, or there was an episode about, Satanists.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is all ludicrous. This is all ridiculous. It's stuff like that. But anytime there's anything that relates back to Lucifer, and then there's always a mention of a goat, and he's like, bloody goats. I hate goats. Where did that even start?
I also hate goats.
Wait, no.
They have rectangular pupils. Rectangular pupils is all I'm going to say. Terrifying. Okay, so the devil is a dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Name Muckle Black Tyke.
Which is such a mouthful.
Again, I'm probably not pronouncing it the way that it's supposed to be because this is Scotland.
Can you say it with a Scottish accent?
No, I can't. I don't have much dignity, but I have enough to not attempt that.
I just want to point out, if you are seeing this dog and you need to, alert someone, you're going to be stumbling over your words trying to get out the whole name.
Maudie Doo!
Muckle Black Tyke! It's the Muckle Black Tyke!
I would just go with Old Shuck. And be like, nope, Muckle Black Tyke. I'd be like, no.
Black dog.
Old Shuck.
Dog. There's a doggo outside. There's a pupper.
You get Old Shuck or you get Padfoot. I'm not calling you anything else.
What was... You might get to this. What was the term that they used for Padfoot? When Harry was seeing him and he thought he was a bad omen?
I think they called him just Black Dog. Or a black dog was an omen.
I thought they called it something specific.
They might. It's been so long.
Ooh, you know what? I'll do the side research. Ha ha. Don't know how I'm going to look it up, but we're going to figure it out. Oh, the Grim. That's what it was.
Grim, yeah.
Spectral dog.
Grim not really ever used much in here, but it's just less popular than just Black Dog and whatever came up in my research.
Sirius Black. Spoilers. Sorry. Spoilers.
So, near the village of Mirthley is a sword in the stone type situation.
Okay.
However, instead of pulling a sword out of the stone and getting a sweet new blade, you move the stone to find a treasure chest guarded by a black dog.
Okay. You move the stone.
Yeah. If you can move...
Oh, you push it out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
If you move the stone, because apparently black dogs are treasure guardians in Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Like dragons.
Okay. I can get on board with that. Don't know slaying of the treasure guardians. Just give him some peanut butter and maybe he'll be distracted.
The myth or folklore, what have you, of the black dog also exists in Latin America.
Okay.
Often called perro negro, nahual, and huechivo. Huechivo. Those are some of the names throughout Latin America used to describe the black dog that is usually said to be the devil or a shape-shifting sorcerer.
Oh, I like that one. I also like perro negro because I can say it and I know what it means.
Yes. It literally means black dog. We have a little painting that we got in Argentina at a art farmer's market thing, or an art market. And I just picked it up. I was like, it's Jory. And I looked at the artist or the seller. I'm like, mi perro.
Oh.
In Asia, there is a black dog that appears in Buddhist canon that essentially scares the unrighteous back to the path of righteousness. AKA, they're scared straight.
Yeah.
In the United States, in Meriden, Connecticut, it is said that a small black dog, so that's new, small, usually it's large.
Okay.
The black dog haunts the hanging hills. It is described as a death omen and, quote, if you meet the black dog once, it shall be for joy. Okay. If twice, it shall be for sorrow. And the third time shall be for death.
Ugh. What about the fourth time?
Does not specify anything about a fourth time. Oh, I think once the third...
Okay, 3 and you're done.
Well, see, that's the thing. It doesn't specify if it's your death or not. But I guess since there doesn't seem to be a fourth time, it would be your death. Because, I mean, it's weird that seeing a black dog once is for joy, and then by the third time, it means death.
Right.
Maybe it is your death, but, if it's somebody else's death, depending on who it is, if it's my enemies, I might be joyful, be like, oh, black dog, somebody I hate's gonna die!
I'm also, okay, this is Connecticut, right?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, don't love the name the Hanging Hills.
It's a stone and rock outcropping, I think. I thought it might be a place where hangings happen.
Yeah, okay.
But according to what I saw in the research, no.
Okay.
Are you taking apart your service dog?
No, his nose came out.
Yeah, it looked like you pulled it out.
I didn't pull it out. One of my real dogs chewed him up, and I was just messing with him, and his nose came out, so now I'm trying to figure out how to put it back in. My other question, okay, I'm picturing Connecticut. I'm picturing,
Really? Because I can't. I've never been to New England, so...
I'm picturing, the Kennedys, and, I feel like families like that often have, labs of sorts.
But this is a small black dog.
I'm also thinking Scottish Terriers. And so I love the idea that some, rich widow lets her little Scottish Terrier run around free, and people are just
freak people out.
Yeah, it freaks people out. So, okay. So, once is for joy, twice is for sorrow, 3 times is death.
Yep.
Of someone, not necessarily you.
Again, it doesn't specify if it's your death.
Okay. All right.
But at the same time, if you see that dog for the 4th time, clearly it wasn't your death, but, what happens on the 4th?
Maybe it just starts over.
Win the lottery?
It just starts over.
I don't know.
In intervals of 3.
In an area of Massachusetts known as the Bridgewater Triangle, a black dog was seen terrorizing the town of Abington in the 1970s.
Okay, define terrorizing.
Well, it was reported by firemen to be attacking horses.
Okay, that's not great. It's not great.
But then when a policeman eventually tracked it down to some railroad tracks, he shot at it, but the bullets seemed to have no effect.
Good.
And the dog just walked off.
Okay, good. Don't shoot dogs.
Or he was just a really crap shot and didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, and he was like, no, I definitely hit it right on, and it just disappeared.
I also think this was like a town competition between the firemen and the policemen, because like don't small towns often have like softball leagues that like there's the local the fireman team, and then the police force team, and then like the EMS team or whatever, and you know, they play like an adult softball league or baseball league or something. So I feel like this is one of those like friendly competitions of like, oh, the firemen saw the black dog, and the police, because originally the police tried to track it down and they couldn't find it at first.
Sorry, I dropped his nose.
I know, I felt
All right,
it.
I'm just gonna put him down. I'm gonna take my slippers off too.
So yeah, the police couldn't find the black dog,
Okay.
but then they finally did.
And then they
tried to shoot at it, but
okay,
the bullets had no effect.
Which I'm glad, because
Stop trying to attack the black dog.
Stop trying to hurt dogs.
Lastly, long haul truckers say that if you see a black dog with red eyes, a fatal crash is imminent.
Ooh.
Or, you know, you're tired and hallucinating and you should pull over so you don't crash.
That's actually probably good advice. If you're starting to see things with red eyes, pull over.
So, all of that to say that no matter the location or cultural background, the myth of the black dog and its significance as a death omen seems to exist with startling similarity. So, like, if you compare our episode of It Was Goblins, right, that you took us all over for, you know, different cultures and everything, like the Ticoloche is the one that I really remember.
I truly don't remember that episode at all.
Well, I remember the Ticoloche because they're my favorite. But I think it was goblins.
Okay.
And
I believe you.
You know, like goblins in Africa were very different than the goblins of Europe versus, you know, Asia and the United, whatever. And then the stories and kind of the rationale behind the folklore and the all of that, it varied widely in description and, you know, origin and whatever. However, across multiple continents, a large black dog, often with red eyes, that seems to appear from nowhere, is regarded as a symbol of death. And, you know, perhaps it's the color black is associated with death and mourning, and that dogs are scavengers, or any number of other reasons. It's just that legends of black dogs haunting graveyards and foretelling doom have existed for centuries. I think the earliest recorded story of a black dog was from like 800.
800. I was about to say, well, you're wrong there because we already talked about the 1500s. Yeah.
So perhaps the moral of the story is be nice to black dogs or die.
I like
Finn.
Katie asked me if I liked this episode.
Did you like this episode?
Yes. I've been planning that for like half an hour.
Good.
That was good.
So another fun little creature feature.
Yay!
And that was my last one of the creature feature series. I might come up with another Easter egg.
Yeah, someone has to guess this one. Yeah. I think I did tell Stephanie what it was because she asked before it was over. And to be fair, we did take a pretty long break between.
No, that was on me. That's why I reminded again. It's the Calicanceroi, the Applicara, the Tatzelworm, the Tilwith-Tig, and then now the Yeth Hound.
Yeth Hound. I love it. To be fair, you did create a whole human in the meantime, so...
Yeah, I did. That was a lot of freaking work, y'all.
Yeah, I imagine. I told someone, they asked how the podcast was going, and I was like, well, we survived someone having a baby.
We survived pregnancy and childbirth, maternity leave.
Yeah, so we survived it. It was very hard over here.
Have you seen that video, or have I told you about this video I saw? It's a TikTok. A woman calls her husband from the car, and she's like, hey, hon, you know when I got pregnant and you told everyone we were pregnant? Yeah. Well, you know how when I delivered our baby, you said we had a baby? Yeah. Well, we wrecked the car.
Nice. maybe use that in the future. Who knows?
So my quick Harry Potter story.
Oh, yes. Please tell.
Other than the fact that I am currently reading Harry Potter 2 Critter.
Oh, I love that.
Showed up to daycare the other day to drop Critter off, and I noticed there's a new little fish tank at the front desk. And written on the tank and label maker, Severus Snape. The daycare now has a little beta fish named
Stop
Snape.
it. I love it.
It makes me smile every time I see it.
I like that they labeled it with a label maker, too.
Oh, for sure. I'll try and get a picture of it one day soon.
I like that.
But, yeah, no, I actually, when I was originally researching for this episode, I was looking at a couple of other, actually, I have that research, and I probably still will do it. It was just, there was so much. Here's all my research. These are upcoming episodes.
Yay!
Just you wait. So the Yakshas and Yakshinis was up for potentially, it's a nature spirits.
Okay.
In like more like Indian culture and lore. Yaksha being the male, Yakshini being female. If I remember correctly, it's been a while. It's in Hindu, Jain, and Buddhist texts.
Okay.
Yokai. Yep. Strange supernatural creatures and phenomena from Japanese folklore.
Nice.
With the word is a combination of these characters. So it's got the Japanese characters. I think it's in it looks like katakana alphabet. It's been so long. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been so long since I studied Japanese.
A friend of mine taught me Japanese in an afternoon.
Ooh.
Like that's, I mean, I don't speak or read
Katie's
Japanese.
complaining about why her baby is too smart, and then she's like, my friend taught me Japanese in an afternoon, and now I'm fluent.
I'm nowhere near fluent. I can't even recognize if this is the hiragana or katakana alphabet.
Wow, what an amateur. You can't even recognize the alphabets. The hiragana or the katakana alphabets.
Hiragana.
Listen, I did my best.
One is more blocky, and that's it translates more directly to English.
Okay.
And then there's the katakana, which is smoother and
Katie's
like swoopier.
Katie's making like sign language at me.
But it's like swoopier and smoother looking, and it translates to Japanese words. If I remember correctly, I could have it backwards, but I don't think that anyone who speaks Japanese, please, by all means, correct me, because I don't know. It's been years. This is from when I was in college, so at this point, over 10 years.
Let's not talk about how old we are.
But anyway, for the yokai, the combination of the characters to write out yokai, attractive, bewitching, calamity.
Ooh.
And mystery, wonder.
Nice.
That's what those characters mean.
Attractive. Bewildered.
Oh yeah, and then there's the Yowie from Australian folklore.
Nice.
So basically I was going to do another mashup of a couple of different Y creatures. Sorry, coughing up a hint there. But then I got to the Yeth Hound, and there just was so much information on it that I was like, I'll make an episode all on that alone.
It.
So
The Yeth Hound.
I might still come back and do the Yakshas and the Yakshinis and the Yowies. But for now, you've got the Yeth Hound.
Yay!
Or the black dog.
Oh, man. Does this mean I have to do our socials?
Good luck.
All right, let's see. So
I should have waited to zip that.
All right, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Tales We Tell Podcast, or you can jump on over to our website if you don't do social media, and that is thetaleswetellpodcast.com. If you want to support us, you can get on Redbubble and buy some merch things.
Sweet swag.
Sweet swag. That you would just get on Redbubble and then search The Tales We Tell Podcast and click on our store, and you can search through a couple different logos. Or if you would like to support us in a different way, you can get on Patreon and search the Tales We Tell podcast. And I think it's $5 a month. And you get bonus episodes, you get stickers, you get our undying love and shout outs, and just make us very happy. Yeah. Did I get them all?
Well done, dearest.
Thank you.
I told you, it's hard, man. It's hard work.
Listen, it is very hard. I'm sweating a little bit. And I'm still going to look up I'm going to look up the jail thing that I'm thinking of, the idiom about prison. Mm-hmm. And then I'll just text you. And
3 square meals.
It's not that. It's something that rhymes. It's three hots and a cot, maybe? Is that a thing? Shut up!
I know, but it makes sense. Like 3 hot meals, but...
Let's see. 3 hots and a cot. That's right.
Okay.
The act of being in prison with only 3 meals a day and only being able to sleep on a hard-ass bed. That was from Urban Dictionary. Okay, well...
We learned a lot.
We learned a lot about the world and each other. And next week I do have a not murdery episode. I promise.
So no child murder.
No
Great. Hannah.
Okay, anyways, we'll see everyone next week. Bye.